That was exciting yesterday, wasn't it? Hey, I'm Jim Sunderwirth here for my swing, and we're talking about the best part of Genesis. We're talking about the best part of Joseph's life when he's revealed himself to his brothers and he's blessing them. And he said, I want you to go get my dad. And he said, I don't want you to be troubled in any way. No, sir, we've got this taken care of. And so they went up, the Bible says in Genesis 45:25, they went up out of Egypt and came to the land of Canaan, to Jacob their father, and they ran up. Now I bet you there was a lot more story told here than that Joseph is still alive. I guarantee you there was more to the story, but they came running up and they got to the punchline really quick. Joseph is alive. He's the governor. He runs the whole thing of Egypt. You've got to believe this. But Jacob, his heart stood still. He was in shock because he did not believe them. But when they told him the words which Joseph had said to them, and when he saw the carts, now listen, when he saw the carts which Joseph had sent to carry him, I love this. I remember when my spirit came back alive. He said, the spirit of Jacob, his father, revived. Here for years, for over 20 years, he had been bowed down with grief. He had been bowed down with why? Why, my son? Why? And you know what? When you lose a child, you think about them every day. I know you do. There's every day you think about them. And I'm sure every day he thought about Joseph somewhere, somehow. Even though he had Benjamin, he still remembered Joseph. And all of a sudden, he's alive. Are you kidding me? And I could just see him straighten up, and he said these words. He said, "It is enough. Joseph, my son, is still alive. I will go and see him before I die." Oh my goodness, I love good endings, don't you? So he took off, and so Israel started his journey. He went down to the southern part of Israel, was Beersheba, and there he made a sacrifice to God. He came back. So many times we just take things for granted. Man, he stopped right there and he sacrificed, and he said, oh God, thank you. And God spoke to Israel in a vision in the night, Jacob, Jacob, here am I. And he said, I am God, the God of your father. Do not fear to go down to Egypt, but I will make you a great nation. You see, the whole thing was the fact that God was going to make a great nation. It wasn't just saving the family, it was saving the nation. It was going before him. And Jacob arose and from Beersheba and carried him down with his wives and everything. Now, then it talked about the fact of with his descendants, and then it talked about all the children that went with him. But then when he got down to Egypt, then he sent Judah before him to point out the way to Goshen. So he had to get some direction, and so Judah was out. Now see, Judah's maturing up, and he's taking charge, and he is, because you see, Jesus is going to come out of Judah, the descendants of praise, the tribe of praise. So Joseph made way ready for his chariot to went up to Goshen to meet his father and present himself to him. And can you just imagine? Well, think of an adoption. Say someone adopts a child out, and then all of a sudden they grow and they're 22, 23 years old, and all of a sudden the day comes where they get to meet their real father or their real mother. Can you imagine how they would get prepared for something like that? And he had been away for a long time, and now he's getting to see his dad. His dad thought he was dead. He's not dead. He's alive, and he gets all ready, and he goes and he meets his father. Now let me, and Israel, Jacob was so excited, he just blurted out, well, just let me die. Now I've seen my son, I can just die in peace. He was so happy, he didn't know what to say. He said, oh, just let me die. He said, no. And Joseph said to his brothers and his father's household, I will go up and tell Pharaoh and say to him, my brothers, my father's house is here. And he said, I'll tell him all about it. I want you to come in. But he said, I want you to be sure. Now, be sure. And when he goes, tell him you're shepherds. Make sure you don't puff yourself up to think you're something you're not. Just tell them what you are and who you are. That's honesty is it's the only policy, really. Anyway, so he went to the Pharaoh and he said, this is my father. And he took 5 men, and Pharaoh said to the brothers, what is your occupation? Right off the bat. And he said, we're shepherds. Pharaoh and the Egyptians had nothing to do with shepherds, but he said, that's okay. He said, I got a land of Goshen for you. I've got this place prepared for you, and I want you to go there. And you know what he said? He said, I'm so pleased and so excited. Pharaoh let these brothers and this family take care of his cattle. You know, it's the specialty. When you're special at something, people bring things to you to help you in that specialty. And so they were special at taking care of cattle. And he said, I want you to be the chief herdsman over all my livestock. Hey, Pharaoh said to Jacob, how old are you? He said, well, I'm 130. And then Jacob blessed Pharaoh, and Joseph provided for his father and his brothers and his father's household with bread according to all their family. I mean, God took care and had a purpose and a season of blessing for the entire family. And he has one for you too. Just don't quit. When you start that journey, it's not the starting out, it's the staying out, because God has a good end for all those that trust him. Wow, what a story. I'll see you tomorrow.